Ecamm fam, what is good, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Marshall Creates with Ecamm. It's like we got a comment up from last week. It's great to see everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So in this episode, we are gonna be branding Adrian's podcast. So if you're new to what's going on here, so last week we kind of kicked off season 3 of Marshall Creates, and we're going to be going through 3 separate phases for professionals, creators, and podcasters. So this month we're focusing on podcasters. So last week we went through the planning phase for Adrian's podcast. Shout out to Adrian Hicks. So we did a little bit of planning last week. She did some homework. And today we're going to be creating the logo and the overlays, the logo color scheme and overlays for her podcast. So we're going to create the logo and then use that logo as like the anchor or the starting point for the design language for her new podcast. So shout out to Adrian. And let me just check in with the family. See how many people we got in the building. Cool. Martin, great to see you, man. Great to see you here, Step Brothers Podcast. Hey, Adrian, I'm glad you are here. Mr. Moderator, thank you, as always. So if you have a question for me, please hit a Q with the colon. I appreciate it. Parker, great to see you. Okay, well, let me move this big old smart water real quick. So, and I got to pull up your email, Adrian, because I read through your document, and it was very informative. It was very informative and interesting. Okay, here we go. And you make sure I got it too. You said it like 3 different ways. All right, so let me save this. Let me just save it to my downloads. That's fine. Ennis, what's good? So Daryl, welcome. Hey, I appreciate that, man. Truly. Truly, truly, truly. Why are you so amazing? Look, man, I don't know. I don't know, but I'm honored. I'm honored, truly. All right, so what we're gonna do first, we're kind of gonna we're gonna read through this document, because a big part of branding, and not just for podcasts, just branding in general, is really getting into the mind of like the why. Like, why was the business, the podcast, the product, or whatever, why was that started, and who is it for? Okay, so give me 1 second. So I'm gonna pull up the doc and we're gonna read through it. Adrian, I hope you don't mind your writing being on cam for everybody. Um, Handwriting's way better than mine. All right. Oh, it's a wrong screen. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. All right. See if I can find it. Give me a second. Screen share. Scene. Okay. I'm going to change. I got to change the screen share. Should have had this. It always switches on me, y'all. I swear. There we go. All right. So we have the note here. So we have a name. So we got Eco Rise, or should we say Echo Rise? But Eco Rise Beyond the Soil. So the purpose of it, so the main goal is to educate and inspire others to grow some of their own food. It doesn't matter if you live in Hollywood or the hood, you can take control of some of your food all year round, indoors, outdoors, from 2 years old to 8 years old. I love that. She had some photos here, which is amazing. So let's take a look at some of those. It's a LUT. Look, probably. Rainy Cajun, what is good? Welcome to see. It's good to see you. Okay, so yeah, this is really cool. This is really cool. Um, yeah, my wife's little garden thing. It's like a white thing. We put water in it. And it's like 6 pods and it's growing, has a little lamp on top. I don't know what it's called, but that thing is growing like crazy. I feel like it was no action for like 3 days, and then next thing you know, it exploded. So it's also for those who have made towers as a side income. Wow, this is really cool. You can see them in schools, outside. It's amazing. It's really cool. Tower gardens. Is this you, Adrian? That shirt is fire with the gradient. Okay. So to interview those who have them on rooftops, commercial kitchens, schools, churches, etc. Also those who have them in residential homes. These are really cool. On balconies. What is this? This is like lettuce. Are they growing food? That is awesome. That's fire. Is he a chef? That's dope. It's very unique. It's very unique, but it needs to be more mainstream, right? We need to get it from being unique to being mainstream. Okay, I'm passionate about sustainability and financial freedom. My husband and I have been virtual farming for 8 years. Wow, that's amazing. So the target audience, my audience are those who have no knowledge, time, or space, and funds are limited to grow a garden, but want and need to eat more fruits, vegetables, and herbs. Yes, I feel you. I'm doing the detox right now. I'm eating plant-based for the first time in my life. I'm doing Dr. Bobby Price's detox. Okay, who would I like to interview? I like to interview those who've already purchased them. I would like to talk about their experiences, all about good and the challenges they have had with them, and also interview people who don't have one and how having one could be a solution. Okay, this is you right here. Awesome, awesome. That's a lot. That's a lot. Was this came out of one, or is this like harvested? That's dope. I definitely want to get into this. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I don't know. We have the space where we are right now. Do we? I don't know, but definitely want to get into this. Who would like to interview? Okay, we read that already. Okay, what are the needs and problems of your audience? Needs those who live in the food desert areas where there are no fruits, vegetables, or herbs available, and food swamp areas where there is mostly high calorie fast food and junk food available for miles and miles and no place for a garden. Also, areas where there is nutrition and inequality, where access to nutritious foods are contributing to many health-related illnesses, especially in marginalized and low-income communities, which is where I'm from. to get healthy food is a real challenge from all of the above places I mentioned. Uh, it's hard because of the factors like distance from higher income areas. The other problem is price of the produce, the condition and quality of the produce. Also, for those who need another source of income on the side of what they are already doing. How can your podcast provide value? Okay, by talking about food. Okay, we won't get into all of this. I did look at these. Food always is food equality. So I don't want to take too much time because we have a lot to do this episode. So co-hosted discussions or interviews, solo episodes and interviews unless I can find a co-host. I want to show first scene. Okay, so we're gonna do a countdown. We're gonna do like a main overlay, and we'll create some different overlays. Guests on screen, video. Okay, so we'll just try to switch it up. Cool. All right, I think we got what we need, y'all. I think we got what we need. So let's get into it. We're gonna be starting off with the branding, and I kind of gave you guys a preview last week of how I kind of create logos on the fly these days in the age of AI. So we're gonna do that. So we have the logo name. We have the podcast name, Eco Rise Beyond the Soil. Okay. So, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's crazy because when I go through like strategy with my clients and stuff like that, they say it feels like a therapy session and they haven't answered a lot of these questions on their own for themselves. So getting it all out there on paper, getting it out of their head, it really makes it real. And it adds some substance to what they're doing as well, you know? So close out of this. Okay. Look, you guys see what I was doing earlier, just using Dolly inside of Chat GPT. So y'all real quick, what we're capable of doing. So I was able to create these graphics using those backgrounds that I generate from Dolly. So we're gonna be using Dolly again inside of Chat GPT. So you guys aren't familiar with Chat GPT, it's like an AI large language model, but they have this, I don't know if it's a platform or what, it's called Dolly. And they have different, they call them GPTs. So it's like different apps that you can use. So I like to use Dolly to create images. So what I'm going to do is go to, here it is right here for last week. Let me see, Greenspire. Okay. So I'm going to continue this because in this conversation, it kind of has some context. And let me see if I can paste some of this into it. Copy this. Okay. Thanks. All right, so I'm gonna just literally copy this. It may not get everything perfectly because it's handwritten. I'm a graphic designer creating a podcast called Eco Rise. And this is for anybody. You can come in here and just talk to it and get some designs. All right. So this isn't just for designers. So this should be applicable to anybody. Eco Rise Beyond the Soil. So I'm thinking the only thing about AI, just a heads up, is sometimes, well, a lot of times it doesn't get the actual text right, like the spelling right. So the more we give it, the higher probability that the text won't be right. But I'm going to try a couple different versions, one with the tagline and one without the tagline, because at a minimum, it may give us an idea of how to configure the tagline. Okay. Here is K-Walk Comedy. What is good? Or as the twins like to say, K-Walk Comedy. Okay. Here is the gist of the podcast. Boom. Okay, let's just reconfigure this for others to grow their own food. Doesn't matter if you live in the hood or Hollywood. You can take control of who are year around. Indoors, outdoors, from 2 years old. Oh, Hollywood was right here. 8 years old. The podcast will feature interviews. All right, let me go down here. Okay. We'll interview those who have them. Commercial kitchens, schools. And you have to get the formatting exactly right because AI is very smart. So it doesn't have to be perfect. Churches say so it knows a lot of times what you're trying to say. Also those rooftops and residential homes. Have them on rooftops and in residential homes. I just want to give it more context because it's all of this isn't entirely necessary. I'll keep it real with y'all, but the more context we can give it, I feel like it'll do a better job. Okay. Okay. Let me see. Purchase them. Like to talk about their experiences. Here it is. Boom. The host. Let me say the host. All right. Can you help me create a logo using Dolly? You know what? I'm going to paste this. I'm just going to paste this inside of Dolly. Okay. I'm going to click Dolly, paste this information. The logo should be a text-based logo for EcoRise. Beyond the soil, right? And it should feature some sort of vertical farming illustration or plant themed. All right, let's see what it gives us. I know that was a lot, but the more detailed you can be, the better. So let's see what it gives us. And it will really be nice to incorporate, if possible, because this is the thing, y'all. The logo is really meant to identify, not explain. Okay, so we don't have to tell a whole story with the logo. And the thing with podcast logos and even different shows and things of that nature, think about all the shows you watch on TV, all the YouTube shows and podcasts you've seen. If they have a logo, it's usually text-based without a bunch of explaining going on in the logo, right? So think of like Walmart, for example, or Target. Why isn't their logo a shopping cart? Because it doesn't have to be, right? What is Walmart's logo? I don't know. Sunray? Who knows, right? Nike? What is it? Who cares? It's just meant to identify. So the same can be applied to this, but I think it could still be nice if we can incorporate some sort of plant or vertical farm element. The thing is, look, if we keep it simple with like maybe a couple leaves with the text-based logo, we can use maybe one of these images for the actual podcast cover, like for like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, like that main cover image. We can use kind of one of these for that to show the actual vertical farms, if possible. Told me to get off his lawn. Off his lawn. That's crazy. That's crazy. All right. Okay, I feel like this is really complicated. Okay, so I'm just gonna say, can you? I like what they did down here, but we can't really read this. I think it says EcoRise. a simple text-based logo for EcoRise with some sort of simple. I know I'm saying simple again, but I need to stress it this time, obviously. Plant theme. So it just takes maybe about 10 to 15 seconds, maybe 20, maybe 30 to create the image. And there are a couple different things we can try. The thing is, like, you can't generate too many back to back because it'll tell you to slow down. Like, hold up, slow down, slow your roll. Oh, we see, now we getting somewhere. The words of Donkey from Shrek. Now we getting somewhere. Okay. Let me know if either one of these jump out at you, because we can use like something like this and then have like Beyond the Soil below it. I'm almost all right. So look, this is why I like this, y'all, because I use AI not just for the logo creation, but really for ideation, right? So I'm thinking, like, what if we did something like this, but for the eye, we made it one of one of the vertical farms, like one of these. So does it have like some type of cone on top, or am I tripping? But it doesn't necessarily have to. But like, see how it has I don't know what these are called, like little pods. So I don't know if that would be doing too much, but we could do it in a subtle way. I feel like even if we added like the little pockets, like the little pods to it, made it a little thicker, added the little pockets to it. Let me know what you think about that. Is that doing too much for the eye? Or we could just do it right here, to be honest. Huh. Yeah, well, let's do two more, and then we'll probably pick one of these and then get to the rest of the branding, okay? I just don't want to find myself doing too much because I know we on a limited time. I like it though. I like it. Okay. Can you generate two more options? So let's see what it does. I like this because it's not like it just picked a font. Like, even you see like how the R is like uppercase, but the rest is lowercase. So it's much more custom than if you just picked a font and typed it in. Okay, here's another. So I'm gonna come out of here. This is ready for a t-shirt. But make them a bit more dynamic. All right, let's just get something that's a little more saucier, like a little more complex, but not too much, right? I say yes. Just want to have a few options. And we can really get once we get the core logo down, we can really get funky with the design language, like building out the rest of the assets that'll really make it come to life. Oh snap! Oh, oh snap! We got action. See, I don't like when it cuts it off, because then we would have to combine these if we wanted to go with this, but it can be done. But even this joint is fire. Let me know. Let me know what you're thinking, Adrian. We have two completely different kinds. But I'm almost thinking this could work. But I'm anxious to hear your thoughts. I think we should pull the trigger on this, to be honest. But let me know what you're thinking between this and I think what was your other choice? Was it this one or this? Let me know. Let's see two more. Let's see two more. I know. Look, we coming up on 226. Let's see two more. I'm gonna say these are great. Get me. Let's see. We just gotta find a way to put the tagline in. But I like how it's rising. Like rise is literally rising. Like the one with the orange circle. Yeah, I do too. I just don't want. I do like the white of the text because if we're gonna put it on a dark background, I like this color scheme. I want Eco Rise to show out, so you'd be able to read it without getting lost in the color of the plants. So we did choose the one with the orange circle. I like that too. I like that better too in terms of the actual additional plant elements. But if we did choose that, the only thing is the E on that side is lower where it should be higher. So I would want to change that. And that's something that we can absolutely do. So that's not a big deal. Because people are going to be looking at this on their phones. Well, once it makes it to podcast form, of course, we're branding for Ecamm. So we're thinking of the video first. But once it gets onto a podcast platform like Apple, it's going to be on a small phone, right? People are going to be looking at it, listen to it on their phone. So we want to make sure even the thumbnail and stuff that you're able to easily read Eco Rise. Oh, okay. Okay. That's dope. But I like this one even better than that. Oh man. This is getting tough, Adrian. And now that you know how to do this, you could probably go on here and spend like endless time on here creating concepts. You have to add personal touch. Yup. Absolutely. Yeah, I touched on that, Kerwin. You probably joining a little late, but yeah, I touched on that already. But thanks, man. Yeah, definitely gonna have some spelling errors, and I use AI for ideation. Creator Camp. I told y'all this last week, but the new Creator Camp logo, the ideation process happened in AI. Of course, there was a ton of spelling errors, but the final product is a bit different because it had to enlarge it, which we'll do on here, vectorize it so we can get the actual layers to edit and things like that, and then add additional elements, take some elements out, add some in, change some little issues and stuff like that come up. Oh, we got the Creator Camp. The link, yeah, check out Creator Camp. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys at Creator Camp. All right, AJ, let me know what you're thinking in terms of these. So out of all the ones that I've seen so far, I definitely want to move on before 2:30. I think I like this one, but making the Eco Rise all white and moving this E up. So let me know what you think. Do you agree with that or rising? Okay. So would you want to go with that with me having moving the E up on this, or do you want to go with the bottom one? Because I can, once I bring this in and vectorize it, I can make all this white. So that won't be an issue. Let me know. So in the meantime, I'm going to download this. Ecamm Live. Ecamm Season 3. Let's say Episode 2. Planning. Podcast. Okay, cool. All right, so there are a couple ways I can enhance this because the quality isn't the best. You can't really tell on the screen, but I have let's do this really quickly. I have software called Topaz Photo AI that I use to enhance photos, and I also use Leonardo AI which is an AI app to enhance photos, like upscale them essentially. So let's go ahead and upload this. I just want to try a couple different ways. Okay, so do you see that? So upscaled it by 3.38 times. So you see on the left, if we zoom in, it's kind of pixelated, a little blurry as you zoom in. But on the right hand side, it's a bit more crisp. So they have these different AI models. Can you guys hear that? That thunder? It's raining down here in Florida. So I like to just flip through the AI models just to see what's available. But try to get the one that's like the most crisp with the lines so we can vectorize it. All right, I think standard is cool. So I'm gonna save this. So that's one way we can enhance it. Another way is with Leonardo. Just used this earlier. I do a lot of enhancing in here. So I'll go to Universal Upscaler. So you can see these images, right, that I got out of DALL-E earlier. I enhanced them in here. So you can see it even adds additional elements and stuff like that to it if you want. And this is really cool. This is just an extra hack. I use this for one of my clients, virtual assistant. She has some old photos, historical photos of her father and her mother, like black and white photos from like the 20s and 30s. I was able to throw them in here and enhance them. She showed them to her father and he was like blown away. I mean, it uses AI, so it kind of recreates some things, but he couldn't believe it. Yeah, I won't show it to. Well, she did give me permission to because I was going to do a YouTube video on it. So here's a good example of that. Not this one. Sample these. See, look at that. Isn't that crazy? So this is like the original, and then this is the enhanced. So it does kind of use AI. So sometimes it's like guesstimating what the face could look like. But he looked at it and he was like, that's it. That's it. So you can try, like, it's like hit or miss. So you can try different ones. So this is Leonardo. All right, let me come back here. You stay focused. All right, so I'm going to upload this original image real quick. It's not terrible, but I just wanted to enhance it. I don't really wanted to add anything to it. So the creativity strength, that's cool. And we're going to do 2D art and illustration, upscale it by 2 times. Let's go ahead and upscale. So it's just going to take a little bit to do. In the meantime, because I have a feeling that what we have so far is going to be the best option, I'm going to bring up Illustrator and go ahead and do an image trace on this so we can vectorize this logo. So I'm going to place it. Oops, not search Adobe stock. Sorry, guys. File, place. Oh, that's huge, y'all. All right, now create a copy of this. Now I'm gonna hit actually I should have cropped this as well. I should have cropped this. But I'm gonna do image trace. Hit OK. It's gonna do it in black and white first, but we need to change the tracing settings to color. High color. All right, so let's pop back over into Leonardo and see what's going on. All right, so it didn't change much. And it did. Let's see if I can zoom in. Enhance it a little bit, but it's not better than what we already have. It's not better than what we already have going. So, so here's where we kind of refine the edges. Probably like a 0.5 megapixel. Who knows, man? Who knows? All right, so what happened? Okay, so let me see colors. I don't need 85 colors, so if we bring the colors down, I think it'll help. Bring the paths down as well. Yeah, we don't want to spend a ton of time on this. Trying to think of the best way to do this that's not going to take a ton of time that we don't have, because for example it's a gradient, right? So it goes from like the lighter green up here to the darker green, but when you come over here to the image trace, you see it has different shades. So we wanted to get like this. So but I know we don't have time to go through and color each one of these. And then the same with the so let's just go with higher colors. Another hack as well is using Fiverr. Like you can submit a logo to Fiverr and have them vectorize it, and they'll do it in a pretty cool way. Oh, you know what? Let me show you guys this real quick while we waiting. Uncle Phil's. So I did this logo using AI. So and I got it vectorized using Fiverr. This isn't the vectorized logo, but I got it vectorized using Fiverr, and it looked really good. It looks really good. Actually, after this, after we wrap up, I'm sending some images to them so they could put it on the food truck. But yeah, just goes to show, like, if you're in a creative space, you can use AI. Of course, you have to make adjustments because I got the head, the head of the cheesesteak man from one application. I got the body from another using AI, and I kind of combined them. And then, of course, it spelled Uncle Phil's wrong, so I had to bring that in the Illustrator and change the spelling. So, but you know, we can use it to make something that's pretty unique and make something that works for our clients. All right. So the only thing that's bothering me is the the smoothness of these edges. That's why we try to upscale it as much as possible. But we may end up having to do this in a ghetto fabulous way, and that's okay. All right. All right, y'all. We're gonna do this the ghetto fabulous way. So I'm gonna abandon this vectorization right now, just because we don't have the time. Do y'all hear that rain? So what I'm gonna do is, let me think. All right, hold on, y'all. I'm thinking. I think I'm gonna do this, but have it in the regular black and white at first, just to get those letters out. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do this just to get these letters out. Yeah, I appreciate it. You guys hit that like button. Thanks. All right, so let's just get these letters as crisp as possible, and then we're gonna have to do a little ghetto fabulousness, but it's gonna be okay. Just because we don't have time. But what I'll do, Adrian, is I'll submit this to Fiverr to get it vectorized once we wrap it up. Okay? Because that's gonna be the easiest way, because they do this all day, every day, as far as vectorizing stuff. All right, let me just make sure the E is crisp, corners high. I gotta hurry up because we got 20 minutes. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna expand this So essentially, by vectorizing, I'm just making this stuff into shape. So now I can move these elements around individually, right? So let's go ahead and bring this over. Yo, it's really pouring out there. Hopefully I don't lose power. And we still have to add a tagline, which we will do, okay? So you see what I'm doing here? And then I'm gonna export this as a PNG. Oh, you know what I should have did, y'all? I'm silly. I will do no such thing. I will do no such thing. Ecamm's foot in the bill. Thank God for Ecamm, y'all. All right. But your appreciation is appreciated. All right. Expand. Stick with me. I know we it's a little stagnant right now, but my mind's working. All right. So now I'm gonna hit ignore color, ignore the black. Boom. All right, there we go. We got action. All right, now I'm gonna expand it. See, this is the limitations we're working with AI, but you see how much time we save by getting this out of it. You see what I'm saying? So on the back end, the stuff like little tweaks like this we have to make, which I'm not complaining about. All right, we almost there. We're getting there. You see where I'm going with this? Okay, so it looks like some sort of shadow, which we don't need there. I'm trying to go as fast as possible. We may run a little over this week, but I don't mind. I mean, it's not perfect, but it'll do for now. So the main thing that I want to do is have this E higher so it can keep going. So it really will fit. And I'm just gonna go ahead and recreate this leaf. Because we need to move this leaf because I love the leaf. It looks beautiful. So let's just recreate it real quick. We don't got time to even think about it. So I'm just recreating it. I could have did it in the image trace. You know what? Let's do that real quick. Let's just image trace this E out, this leaf out. Boom, boom. Okay, there it is. All right, so I'm gonna move it over. delete that. All right, so we have this, and I like this little circle here as well. So we'll kind of recreate these. Yes, keep riding to the top. Yes. All right. Excuse me if you hear my kids in the background screaming. Please forgive me. All right, so it's rising. So we have the E up here. So what we're going to do is make all of this in this colors to cover it, pretty much cover it. Okay, so now we have the E rising up. And now we want to put this leaf down here and probably change the angle of it. So I just want to use this as an example to get the other colors real quick. So we have we might have to do planning part 2 next week. Let's plan on that. Let's plan on that right now so we can do the overlays and stuff next week. I'm sure Katie and the team will be good with that. Cause then that's good because that'll put us at 4 weeks per person instead of 3. So we can spend a whole month. But at least this week we'll have the branding done. So all right. So we have this. So I'm essentially trying to create these other color elements. So I'm just trying to model the like curvature of the colors. So we have this lighter color green going in here. And it comes down here. Okay, then it comes up to like the right side. All right. So no, let's get. Watch this. So essentially, look, got one color, and then I have this other color, which would be the light green, and then using the shape builder tool, selecting both of them, and then just chopping this off. So, and then this is actually a gradient. So I'm actually going to select 2 colors in the gradient, this darker color, and then this lighter color. Where is it? Boom. I'll add a little curvature here. And then let's reduce this opacity some to have it blend a little better. Boom. We got our leaf back, y'all. We got our leaf back. All right, now, and I could have moved it. I could have did this a different way, but now let's do this. This has a little bit of a gradient too, but let's just add a like a little lighter circle up here to the ball. Boom. Has a little white element to it. Super small. Boom. Boom. White. All right, so we got that. And then let's add another little circle here and have this as this shade and a little green one. Facts. All right, we're gonna do a little one here and make this. What color was this? Like a light green. Boom. All right, so this is looking good. This is looking really good, y'all. So what I want to do now is kind of like export this. Lines up perfectly with the board on your screen. Square. The light in the background lines up perfectly with the border of your screen. Screen square. Wow, say that 10 times fast. Screen share. Oh, that's crazy. Yo, that is crazy. I didn't even notice that. Yo, that's crazy. She's talking about this light. This light. Where is it? This light right here lines up perfectly with the line on my screen share. Bruh, that's crazy. That's crazy. I didn't even notice that. Yo, that's nuts. That's crazy. Thanks for bringing that up. I thought it said Botox. Box to box register. Yo, that's crazy. All right. So when we bring this into, we'll bring it into Affinity Designer to start getting it designed. But we'll add the tagline in there. Okay. So we got a few more. Yo, that is nuts. When you think about it, that is crazy. That's literally crazy. That's nuts. Now I got to make the border glow. Now I need to change the whole background up so it can look like a continuous glow. And you know I can do it. I can create a border that looks exactly like the light. That's nuts. You may be onto something. That's crazy. I swear I didn't. I adjust. If you look at every episode of Martian Creates, every video that I do, I adjust my camera every day, like almost every day, because I have this Apple Studio display that I pull out and it literally covers the camera most of the time, but always hits the camera. And I have a little teleprompter with my little iPad on it. That's like a little iPad mini that I use as a teleprompter. So it always bumps into it and moves it. So I always have to adjust the camera. The camera doesn't really stay in the same place. So I was recording some videos earlier for Wix and I adjusted the camera. So it's literally a coincidence. Jamie, Kenya sports content creator, just started doing live on YouTube using Ecamm watch some of your videos. Hey, I appreciate that, Jamie. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for tuning in. My brother or my sister, I don't know which one. Jamie could go either way. I know I probably won't be that lucky, but I'll try. But I could always adjust my framing inside of Ecamm, right? I can always do that. But I didn't do that this time. That's crazy. That is nuts. That blew my mind. I'm sorry. We ain't gonna spend 3 minutes on that. Yo, y'all hit the like button for the perfectly lined up like though. That's nuts. All right. We got Eco Rise. Let's come over into Affinity Designer and we can actually get started with like the cover. Let's create the cover. Let's start on the cover. And we'll continue next week. But we're gonna create the background. And I'm actually thinking, y'all, the background should probably be like lighter versus dark, but we'll see. We'll see. All right, so I'm going to place this and I'm going to crop it because we don't want the bottom one. Oh, I did it as a SVG. I didn't mean to do that, but let's see what happens. Okay, that's fine. All right, so now I'm going to crop this here. So you can tell that the background isn't black. It's actually like this dark blue, which is cool. So we're going to change it. Change the background to this dark blue. All right, y'all, we got action. we got action. So we are gonna want to add the tagline. So let's head back into Dolly just to see, because I did like the I'll be going off on tangents. I'm like, why is it a cheesesteak website up here? I did do this website though, y'all. Shameless plug. All right. Let's see, because I like the way they did Beyond the Soil. So I like kind of like a font like that. I think it looks cool. So at a minimum, let's find like a simple font like that with like the lines on the side. Guys, got a few more minutes here. Or we could even go larger with it as well. Almost like, you know how when you have books and it has like a tagline? Of course, every book I pick out is a bad example. Golly. Never mind. I'm just going to say, like, you have the main title, right? And then you have the tagline. But sometimes, like, the tagline takes up this much space. So we could take that approach to it. And then I drop all my books. I'm sorry, guys. All right. So let's type in. All right. We got Beyond the Soil. And let's just look at a couple different. And we could, you know, Adrian, if you wanted to have a photo of you on it, we could add that. So if you do, just send it to me. Send me like a couple. Hopefully it's like, you know, more a professional shot, maybe like a professional headshot. If not, it's all good. Beyond the Soil. But like we could do it like this. Kind of like that. Because we have the space for it. And we'll add other elements, like maybe like a faded background. We can add more elements, like more plant elements around the sides of it and stuff, so it can really be custom. So yeah, we're gonna need next week too. But I think this is a great start. So now let's just go through some fonts real quick. Oh, this is kind of cool. I feel like we need something a little thicker. But that's an option. Like that type of configuration is an option, as well as something that's a bit more subtle as well, like this. But of course, with a thicker font, so you can actually read the thing, right? So I like just throwing a bunch of stuff out there just to see what sticks. Oh, even like a taller font like this could work as well. But I think we need something a bit more rounded just to add some contrast. But something like this could work. And what if we had it in like the orange, just because the orange is kind of like random, but it still works. It adds a bit of a pop to it. So that potentially could work. As far as the color scheme. Or we could go with more of a handwritten font as well. Something like that. Or what if we even had it in the middle? But this is look, once we get this vectorized, that's a t-shirt, y'all. That t-shirt is fire. So it's a lot of different ways a lot of different directions we can go with this. So yeah, I play around with this, but we're getting ready to wrap up for this. Oh, that's cool too, y'all. This episode. I'm in love with this. And AI did it, y'all. AI did it. Yeah, I agree. You talking about this one? So this is Castinos. No photo needed? Okay. this is cool too. We could do like a more of like a grunge type font. So when I find a font I like to like drag it over here just so we can reference it in the future. Like, all right, what was that one font? You know what I'm saying? I think that may work. So I drag this down. That's kind of fire too. Ooh, that's kind of dope too. And of course, it doesn't have to be all lowercase. Oh, it doesn't have a uppercase in this font. That's cool. That actually kind of fits. Let me just see if we change it to like a green, what it would look like. Hmm. Let's make it a gradient. Oh, snap. Okay, empty tower guard. Okay, great. Yeah, send me whatever you have so we can start playing with it next week. But yeah, so what we'll do is we'll stop here, and starting next week, we will jump into finishing this logo really quickly. We'll take like 10 or so minutes. We'll finish the cover in another 10 or so minutes, and then we'll spend the rest of the episode building out your like your background graphics and your overlays for Ecamm. So yeah, this was fun, y'all. This was fun. This was fun. Oh, great minds think alike. Great minds think alike. Cool, cool, cool. Brother. All right, cool, Jamie. I appreciate you. All right, guys. That's gonna be it for this one. But I'm thinking this is off to a great start, y'all. I'm excited about this. And I can't even take the credit. You know, Adrian did a great job with the, giving me homework to put into Dolly. And we got this, or a variation of this, and we just made a slight tweak to this. But what we will have to do, and I can do this in the meantime, is get equalized. I'm gonna get this vectorized. So it's not that much. Costs like $5-10. I'll get it vectorized, so it'll be like we'll be able to. I mean, I could do it, but I don't have time to go into Illustrator, do it in black and white, build out all these shapes, and then do the gradients, the different layers, kind of like I did for the leaf in Illustrator. Do that for all of these. So I'd rather just pay somebody to do it and send it back to me in a day or two, and then it'll be perfect, right? So yeah, I'm gonna do that, and we'll have that. And of course, once we wrap this stuff up, Adrian, I'll send you this stuff. So if you wanted to put this joint on a billboard, you could do that. If you wanted to put it on a T-shirt or what have you, get some merch made, you can do that. So yeah, this was a lot of fun, guys. Yeah. If you want to grab some merch, check out our Fourth Wall store. It's a lot of dope stuff on there, including some coffee. So I had the opportunity to design a lot of that, pretty much a good majority of that stuff, including the coffee packaging. So of course it means a lot to me. So if you want to support me, grab something off that merch shop. I appreciate that. Thanks, Paul, for dropping that in here. All right, guys, that's going to be it for this episode. I appreciate everyone for tuning in. This was a ton of fun. We're going to be having this kind of fun every week. So thank you. Please smash that like button. Drop a comment if you want to replay squad. And I will see you guys next week. Peace.